A great way of validating our strengths and weaknesses is via feedback. So, as this slide says, sometimes we think we come across one way, but in actual fact, we can come across in another. So, certainly asking for feedback from other people is a really good start. But a key here is you've got to be open to constructive advice on how to improve rather than coming from a defensive place. So, a question I like to ask people is what could you do if you don't know your strengths and weaknesses? As in, how can you go about actually asking for the feedback? So, a little technique I've developed is what I call a mini 360-degree feedback. If you've ever heard of a 360-degree survey, if you've worked in large corporates, they are a very convoluted process about asking your peers, your managers, and even people who report to you about feedback. It's kind of like that, but just not as involved, and you can do it anytime. Basically, the idea is you send a couple of people an email to gain some insight into what you're good at and what you're capable of. The idea is you do ask two specific questions and you are looking for constructive feedback. So the instructions are you choose a minimum of 3 people. You can choose more, but the minimum is 3. And the idea is that you have somebody from your work, somebody from your group of friends, and somebody from your family. If you choose more than 3, then double up or triple up on those 3 different groups. So the idea is to have those 3 different groups. Then once you do that, the step 2, which is missing from this slide, is actually to send them an email. The email template is on the main web page. In the email, you ask them what your specific strengths are, and you also ask them what your weaknesses are or areas that you sabotage yourself. And the reason why you ask that in particular is because you're looking for constructive feedback. If you just ask for what your weaknesses are, you may get some feedback that you is not basically constructive. Third step here is once you get it in, you think about what similarities or differences you notice on what you thought about yourself or what is on your current SWOT, and then how does that align with how you see yourself and what you can learn from that. Fourth, you finally write out what you've noticed about yourself in your SWOT. The idea here is that you've got to make sure that these people know you. So the notes section, they have to know you for at least 1 year. And like I said, you can survey more than 3 people if you have the time or want comprehensive feedback, but cap it to probably 3 people for each category, so that's 9 people each. So have a go at that. It's a great process to really get some surprisingly positive feedback and also some constructive feedback about how you hold yourself back in your career as well.